Welcome back to Indiana, guys, where we're currently in the midst of a pretty solid sophomore campaign. I mean, as a team, we're sitting at 4-2, and individually, we're right around 1,000 all-purpose yards and 6 touchdowns halfway through the season. But we still got 6 conference games to play this season, and none more important than this one this week against number 14 Penn State. I mean, thankfully for us, we're going to be playing this one at home, but we just dropped to another top 25 team a couple weeks ago, so we would like to not repeat that. After this, we're going to be taking on 3-3 Minnesota and then 2-3 Michigan State after the bye week. Thankfully, we're going to be ending out the season against Iowa, who's 4-2, and then USC and Purdue, who combined only have 1 win. I'm sure that'll end up changing by the time we end up getting to weeks 12 and 13, but for now, we really need to focus on week 7 and taking down Penn State at home. Again, a very important game, and if we want to have a chance at potentially making it to the conference championship, we need to win out for these next 6 weeks, and again, that's going to be extremely difficult. Now, looking at our academics right now, we look a little screwed, so I think we're going to have to do this to be able to get up to passing and scraping by. I know we probably should have done one for our health, especially considering the fact that we are playing Penn State. But again, if we're not able to be eligible, who gives a damn? Because we're not going to be playing in the last handful of games this season because, again, we need to make sure that we're going to be eligible. So even though we are going to have a little bit of wear and tear, hopefully it's not going to make that big of a difference. But that is kind of what we get for ignoring our academics pretty much all season. Either way, though, look at this overall difference right here. They're a 92 overall. That offense looks absolutely insane. So let's hope that our 79 overall defense can keep them in check. But let's make sure that we take hold of this game and we end up coming out on top. And let's hope that we're the ones that can actually set the tone here, as we're going to go on the ground to start. And we actually get a nice little hole there, and we end up picking up 8. That's actually not bad. I thought maybe there was going to be a little bit more, but no, not quite. I don't know why we're going for the speed option. I don't feel like this is a great idea, but for some reason, I don't know, we're going to go for it. Let's see what we can do. Oh, you should have pitched it, man. I had a little bit of a lane. And now, unfortunately, we're faced with a 3rd and 5. Oh, I don't know if I really want to go with the angle route right here. I don't know if I want to trust Lowry to be able to pick up the first down, but we're going to have to do that right here. There we go. Give it to me. Oh, we don't quite get up. That's a 4th and 1, and we're going to get taken off the field. It's going to be a long day. Or maybe not, because we got the ball back pretty quickly and without any points on the board for them. As unfortunately, we do not get any blocks there, but we're able to push off that one. And we turn a tackle for a loss into a pretty decent gain. That is a big first down right there, and about 12 yards if I'm not mistaken. I think we started on the 20. So let's go 1st and 10. Let's go RPO. Oh, give me the ball. That was so stupid on my part. I saw that hole right there, but we don't have that change of direction like I was hoping that we would. My bad, we'll upgrade. You know, by the time we're a senior, we're going to be able to cut that back like that. But for now, yeah, that was not great. So, 2nd and 11. All right, that's not great. Our offensive line is not really holding their blocks well, and we're not getting anything. So, 3rd and 11, we need to find some way to pick this up. Let's see if we can actually get free somewhere. We're not going to run the route that they're giving us. Honestly, we're going to change that up just a little bit. There we go. No, don't secure catch, and that does lead to Penn State scoring the first points of the game. My bad, man. We had a first down on that as well, which was really rough. And, man, we're just not getting anything on the ground. That is another loss for us, unfortunately. And we're struggling a little bit here. Again, we saw the overall difference. They're a damn good team, so we shouldn't be surprised. But still, man, we need to take control of this game ourselves, man. We're an impact player. And again, he throws to us before we're able to hit the catch and run button. It's very unfortunate, and I think I just called a run here. It's all right, 3rd and 6. I know our offensive line hasn't been able to block these guys, but who's to say that that won't change just right here as we get some good blocks and we run right into a tackle. 4th and 6, and we're punting again. But maybe that wear and tear is really making a difference, huh? 5 for 8 yards on the ground. And man, we are now down by 2 possessions right here. And he actually finds someone for a couple of yards. That's not us. Good for him. Way to look elsewhere. Guys, again, don't get me wrong. Like, again, we've been calling for some of these, but like the last one that we caught, the one that we caught on 3rd down before, we didn't call for that, which is why we ended up going for the secure catch. Come on, get to the next level. Someone's got to pick up some kind of stop. We are getting absolutely nothing on the ground. And again, with the 91 overall defense, we shouldn't be incredibly surprised. But now on 3rd and 4, we need to pick this up. Let's not go. We can't catch that. And man, we are really in line for a bad loss. Yeah, I mean, we're down 3 possessions now. Man, I don't know why I thought that we were going to be able to actually win this, but yeah, he's not going to loft that up to us either, unfortunately. 43 seconds to be able to get down and score. They get the ball back at half, so if we don't score here, this game is all but over, essentially. All right, get me out here. There we go. Catch and run. I was hoping we break out that tackle. We don't. And now we're still struggling. 3rd and 5. At this point, I'm a little worried that we just give them the ball back and they're going to get more points. No, bro. Are you kidding me? Look, I've made some bad reads as a quarterback in my past, but my goodness, man, that was bad. And now we're back up to the 1-yard line. And thankfully, we're able to kind of get out. I thought we were going to get taken down for a loss, but it's going to be a 2nd and 9. We got to run for this one again. This time, we're going to be running from their impact player, thankfully. 2nd and 9, let's go. Let's go get the hole. Let's go. There we go. And we're able to pick up a 3rd and 1. I don't know necessarily why I thought that we had the first down on that, because I guess we were a little short, but it's okay. This is so much more manageable than what it could have been. 3rd and 1 right now. Again, can you just wait for just a second for us to be able to get out there? I mean, catching balls was so much easier as an actual wide receiver, but yeah, we'll get used to it eventually. 1st and 10, we're here in the 4th quarter now, so it's a little rough as we end up picking up 5. At least we're getting positive yards this time. And it's not a lot, 9 for 22, not even a great average at all, but oh, we're still in this. We're still in this. We're only down by 20. Yes, I am aware. I just said only. And he ends up getting sacked. Now we got a 3rd and extremely long. Can we please get some kind of screen pass here? Is there a way to end up getting a screen? There's one right there. I love to see that. Let's see if we can actually pull something out of our ass on this one and be able to pick up a 1st down. Get it out to me. Thank you. We get some decent blocks, but nowhere near enough to pick up a 1st down. And this game's pretty much over. We're not even going for it. I mean, I get it. We were deep in our territory, but come on now. Still, you got to go for it. We lose 30-7. I thought that Michigan game was bad. Nothing compared to this. Like I said, man, these guys were going to be a good team, and they definitely showed it in this one. As Lowry only had 91 with 2 interceptions. Crazy. We only had 9 for 22, average 2.4. His defense was just too much for us to handle. But we did lead the team in receiving with 32 yards. Just wish he would have actually given us a second to be able to call for the ball instead of going for the secure catch. And you've got to be kidding me. After that, I mean, the whole team did bad. Why are we getting a demotion to a backup role? Well, accept the responsibility, but do we really deserve that? What's going on? You've got to be kidding me. I'll give a polite answer, but are you really putting us in a backup role? How? I think we've been doing pretty well. I mean, well enough. So, I mean, I guess we can come in and study film with them, but my lord, are we going to be transferring out at the end of the season? That is extremely upsetting. And it looks like we got a D minus 2 Ds and an F. So where are we sitting right now? Oh, well, that actually makes sense of why we ended up getting demoted. We're ineligible. We're scraping by, but apparently that brought us down to a 1.6. And the rest of the season might actually be in jeopardy for us. This is extremely tough. We're going to do a little bit of that, but then we're going to get all of our wear and tear all the way back up to normal, just so we don't have any for whenever the hell we end up getting back on the field. But that is extremely rough. And we'll still do practice, but at the same time, how long are we going to be ineligible? I mean, I kind of figured it wasn't our play that ended up us getting benched. I mean, I knew it had to be something else. But I can't believe we went ineligible. I thought that scraping by was going to be good enough. And there it is, of course, mandatory study hall. That's great. Yeah, we get a small bump to our GPA. And that means that hopefully after this bye week, we're going to be eligible for the game. I mean, we're at a 1.8, so we're really going to have to up this. This is pretty much all we're going to be doing. We need to make sure that we get up to at least scraping by, or at least halfway up there, if we want to have any shot at getting back on the field anytime soon. And looks like we got another game where we're going to be ineligible. So that means that Michigan State, we're not going to be playing yet again. We do end up getting that small bump to our GPA, and that should get us back up to a 2.0. And apparently Coach doesn't know what the hell he wants, because he's not particularly enthused with us lately. We haven't even been on the field. Obviously, we've been ineligible, and I'm sure you're not happy about that. But Jesus Christ, man. Come on. You know what's going on. And actually, surprisingly enough, we're going to be eligible for the game against Michigan State. So never mind. We actually got a shot here. By the way, it looks like we ended up winning the game against Minnesota. Kind of not surprised at that because we were a better team. Lowry with 336 with 2 touchdowns. Stewart, 80 yards on the ground. Cabana, 64, who had a touchdown. But no one averaged anything really great. Still a lot better than what we ended up having in our last game against Penn State. But again, hopefully we can end up picking it up here and we can have a big game against Michigan State. Again, it's just been kind of a rough season so far, at least second half of the season. And again, we need to make sure that we're going to be eligible. So, again, I hate to do it. We really don't have any wear and tear this week, which is great. But we need to definitely work on our academics so we don't become ineligible again. Now, we will get that training later on. We need to get more skill points just to be a little bit better. But, again, for now, we just need to really focus on getting our grades up. And I will say the downside about this game against Michigan State is the fact that we're still the second option right now. We're running back too, which means we're not going to be getting into this game a ton, but hopefully it's going to be enough to make an impact. I said we wouldn't be getting in the game much. We haven't gotten in the game at all. At all. And we end up losing to Michigan State. I can't believe it. We didn't get a chance to even get on the field for a single play as running back too. We need to get our starting spot back. I can't believe this is where we're at our sophomore season. You know, Coach Marty Daniels at Blue Mountain State wouldn't give a shit about our grades. Why do they? Come on now. But yeah, it looks like we have a data analytics test, and honestly, we're going to need as much help as possible. So we're not going to go the full max of 3 energy, but we'll go for the 2. Hopefully that'll actually help us out for the game. But now we got a game against Iowa, but question is, are we even going to get in the game? Can we find a way to be able to get back up to running back 1? Because we're going to definitely need it. So again, let's make sure that we actually get up there. I understand Coach is not happy with us right now, but thankfully we're back into 2.0, and let's hope that we can find a way to get our starting spot back. And look at this. All because we are ineligible, halfback 1 is 3,400 Coach Trust, and look at us. All the way up at 14,839, and we're halfback 3. Now I see why we didn't end up getting in that game. Hopefully we can find a way to end up getting back into the starting lineup, and hopefully we can end up playing one of these final games of the season. But we're taking on Iowa. Can we actually get in this game? Like, I am furious. Look at this. We're down 3. Make that 10. We end up losing to Iowa. Again, another game that we don't get into. Realize we just lost 2 in a row to conference opponents. Coach, I think it's time to make that change again. I mean, look at that. 7 carries for 23, 6 for 15, 5 for 15. Like, that's horrible. We had better stats against Penn State. And can you believe that? That should give us some more Coach Trust right there. Our test grade, we crushed it. After getting D's and F's? What, did we end up cheating? I hope not, because that ended up giving us a boost to the GPA, and we cannot afford to lose any of that. We're up to a 2-2. Coach Happiness is still not great on that, unfortunately, but this will actually get us up to about midway to scraping by. We got 3 more weeks to put some more into that. And yeah, our leadership is not great right now. I feel like we're going to have to up that in coming weeks, but for now, work on that training, we get that extra skill point, and let's make sure that we don't end up having any wear and tear. And honestly, let's take that extra one, let's put that there. We're going to be getting some degrees. Now we don't have to worry about becoming ineligible, at least for the rest of this season. I mean, we only have 2 games left this season, and we'd really like to be able to play in at least one of them. I don't know if it's going to be this one against USC, but if it is, let's make sure that we go out there and make a difference. And halfway through this game, it is scoreless as USC finally breaks the tie. Still have yet to get in the game, and we've still yet to get into the end zone, as we don't even do it there at the end. And again, another game that we don't get into, and another one that we end up losing. Coach, is it really worth putting us on the bench at this point? we might not even be bowl eligible after starting 4-2 against some really pathetic rushing stats. 4 for 12, 3 for 10. Lowry ended up apparently getting sacked a couple times. 7 for -1. We need to get the ground game working. I think that's our big issue right now. That better mean that we end up getting into this final game this season. Because if we don't win this last one, we're not bowl eligible, and we're going to be at the end of the season before we even know it. It's a pretty tough season for us. I'm actually pretty sad. But now again, we have to focus on academics a little bit. We're going to do half of it right now. We're not going to procrastinate too much. And so we'll use a little bit of time for that. But again, what we really need to start doing, because I think that we're okay right now with our academics, is starting to really up that leadership. If we can start to get that up there again, maybe then we'll get back on the field. I don't think that we're going to be on the field for this game, and we might actually end this season, again, just riding the bench. Not what we want to see, but it's what we get, again, for not focusing on academics at all. But that really begs the question, do we stay at Indiana at the end of the season? Or do we end up transferring because they ended up taking away our starting spot? Again, a lot on us because we ended up going ineligible, but realistically, once we ended up becoming eligible again, you should have put us back on the field. Either way, we're going to be taking on Purdue on this one, and hopefully we can end up getting in the game for the final game of the season. And unfortunately, so far, doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. Not only that, we finally actually pull ahead on Purdue, which is nice, but they end up tying it up. We go up again, and thankfully we end the season 6-6. Question is, will we end up getting a bowl game? But either way, we do become bowl eligible. We're 6-6, not exactly where we wanted to be after starting the season pretty decently well, but that's where we find ourselves. Let's hope we can find a way to get into a bowl game, and maybe we can actually play in that one, especially considering the fact that we got nothing on the ground again. I mean, Lowry was one of our best rushers on that one, but Cabana 29, Stewart 25. That's extremely rough. What happened to the 500-yard rusher that we had halfway through the season? Oh, that's right. You benched him because he was focusing more on football than he was on school. My bad. And would you look at that? We actually get a position battle for halfback 2. Isn't that great? In our sophomore season, where we were the starter for the first half, we finally have a halfback 2 challenge. Awesome. We got that lit project due this week. We completed a lot of it last week, which is awesome, which means that all we have to do is spend 1 energy to end up finishing it right here. And that means that we're going to have 5 this week to be able to focus on our leadership and everything else. But again, we got that position battle, so let's hope that we can end up coming out the other side as halfback 2 for the rest of the season. And needless to say, we ended up winning all 3 of them. We're back up to halfback 2, and that means that assuming that we ended up getting into a bowl game, we might actually play. Maybe only a couple carries, but it's a lot better than what we've had in the last handful of weeks. So let's see if we can end the season out on the right note and end up finding a way to picking up a bowl victory. Thankfully, we do end up having a bye week this week, last week of the season, and let's hope that maybe we can actually challenge for halfback 1 before that bowl game. Now, we are going to end up, again, putting a bit in the leadership because I think that's going to be extremely important, and especially if we end up deciding to stay here, although that is not moving up quickly, unfortunately. But at the very least, at least it's higher than what it was before. And hopefully we can end up working our way up there as we end up advancing the week. Again, I don't know if we're going to be able to challenge for halfback 1, but if we will, we're going to see it on this next screen right here. Why does it say fail? Because we ended up doing pretty well this semester. Well, we got all C's. Okay, that's not bad. Not the best, obviously, but definitely not the worst. As we do have the conference championship this week, which, needless to say, we are definitely not in. But what we're going to end up doing, because we have 7 energy. Again, that's not doing a ton. I wonder if we can find a way to get up to medium if we keep doing this for a couple more. Let's do that. We got 1 more. Come on. We don't quite get up to medium, but at least we're in the yellow now. Yes, it would have been nice to be able to get a couple skill points, but realistically, again, I think that's what might actually get us on the field just a little bit quicker. So come on. We advanced through the conference championships. Please tell me that we have a bowl game and a halfback 1 challenge, as nothing is popping up right now. However, do we see confetti? You bet your ass that we don't. But that's not to say that we won't get one. They're still figuring out who is going to be in what bowl game, but I definitely do not see us anywhere on this list right now. Granted, my eyes are getting pretty bad nowadays, so hopefully we can find a way to make our way up there. But again, for now, we're sitting at 6-6. It's going to be pretty tough to be able to get that bowl game. So, again, look what we're going to do. Let's get that all the way up to medium this time. There we go. And honestly, I mean, it's not like we're playing. May as well get that extra one, and we'll get that one back up as well. And let's add a little bit extra to that. So, we'll see. Let's advance the week again. We'll find out if we end up getting that bowl game right here. Didn't look like we were projected to get one, but things could definitely change. But apparently the only change that we might have is us being back in a backup role? What are you talking about? We're only halfback 2 right now. So I don't necessarily get why we're getting that right there. As it looks like Keelan Russell ends up winning the Heisman. 42 touchdowns, just under 4,000 yards. I'm hoping that in one of these final 2 seasons we can find a way to become a Heisman candidate, at least being up on that watch list. But as we can see right here, definitely looks like we did not end up getting into a bowl game. And so that means that our season's over at 6-6. We didn't get on the field for the last handful of games, and now we see why we didn't end up making a bowl. It's because, well, we were ineligible for a week, but then you kept us on the bench for the rest of the season. That's sad to see, but you better believe next season's going to be a lot different. That coach trust is so high right now that I think our junior season, we're going to be starting the entire year here in Indiana. And you've got to be kidding me. We got to accept responsibility again. This Timothy Rodriguez guy really needs to get the f*** out of here because it's starting to piss me the hell off. But as we see right here, we have a chance to enter the transfer portal. If we end up doing that, we actually have a handful of schools that we can end up going to. But where we're at right now, we would be the #1 halfback at a lot of these schools. But realistically, is it going to be smart to be able to transfer? I mean, again, we ended up getting benched here at the end of this season, but again, that's because we were ineligible. If we're able to get that starting spot back, is it possible that we can actually have a big breakout season next year? The question is, does this team have what it takes to be able to get us to that next level? I mean, again, our offensive line wasn't necessarily the greatest. We weren't able to get on some good runs, especially in that Penn State game. But again, what other school do we think that we're going to go to that's going to give us a better shot? Again, we're going to be #1 halfback here at Indiana. We'd be #1 at a lot of other schools. But again, the question is, what is going to be the place that is going to give us the best opportunity? Now, if we're looking at schools that might be a better fit or something like that, Colorado could be one. That is a B for a school fit. And we would actually be #1 on their depth chart right away. We also have Pitt, where we would start off as #2, but again, a big fit for us. They do run that spread offense, which actually would not be bad for us. But realistically, if we're going to look at starting and being in a school that's going to fit, we're going to be looking at a lot of these 2-star schools. San Jose State is an A fit right now. Arizona is an A-. So again, we have a lot of options, not necessarily the greatest options, but a lot of options nonetheless. Question is, again, what is going to be the best fit for us and what school is going to give us the best opportunity? Do we stay at Indiana or do we find greener pastures elsewhere? We'll find out in the next video, but until then, appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to go down and drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.